Hello girls and boys, welcome to Blackboard Techniques. This is CBSE Class 10 Math Series. In this class, we'll be learning new topic, that is revisiting irrational numbers. In this topic, we'll be solving some problems. We need to check some numbers are irrational or not. Before getting into the problem, we have to know some basic concepts. What is rational numbers, what is irrational numbers, and some theorem and some kind of techniques we have to know before starting into the getting into the problem. Already we had discussed about this rational numbers and irrational numbers in previous classes, in introduction class. Still we are going to recall it. Rational numbers are nothing but it includes different numbers like whole numbers, integers, and decimal numbers with repeating patterns and also terminating decimals. Example, whole numbers. Whole numbers, listen, it will be starting from 0, 1, 2, 3 and it keeps going. And integers, it includes positive numbers and negative numbers. And terminating decimals, that means if you want to this 0.25 and 0.5, 0.75, this kind of numbers are terminating decimals. This all includes this all numbers are coming under rational numbers. And also repeating decimal numbers with repeating patterns. That means if some numbers will be 0.33333, it keeps going, like, all right. And if you are considering these three numbers as a one pattern, this 333 will be getting repeated. So such kind of numbers are called as repeated decimal numbers with repeated patterns. Okay, this kind of numbers all coming under rational numbers. This is all about number system, right? You have to know what is rational number and irrational number. The main thing is rational number we can write in the form of fraction, but in irrational number we cannot write irrational number in the form of fraction. What is fraction? Fraction means one numerator will be there, one denominator will be there, right? You can take any letter. This P represents any number, Q represents any number. You can represent this a fraction by any letters. I am taking P and Q. One numerator will be there, one denominator will be there, that is fraction. Okay. Only we can write the rational numbers in the form of fraction, but we cannot write irrational numbers in the form of fraction. That's the main thing. For example, if I am taking 0.25, I can write in the form of fraction. How can I write? How can we write 1 by 4? This is the fraction form, right? And 0.5 means 1 by 2. And 0.75 means 3 by 4, right? This is the fraction form. Main thing is we can write the rational numbers in the form of fraction. Okay, and also if I am considering number 0, we can write this 0 in the form of fraction by 0 by 1. Whatever number we have as a whole number, in the denominator we can put 1, right? If I am having 1 means I can write in the form of fraction as 1 by 1, right? So we can write any rational number in the form of fraction. But there is a condition. This Q should not be 0. There must be some number as a denominator. This Q should not be 0. Q not equal to 0. Here we have 1, right? And this kind of numbers are coming under rational numbers. Okay, and next, irrational numbers means we cannot write this irrational numbers in the form of fraction. And for example, the decimal numbers with non-repeating patterns. Okay, this some kind of numbers, decimal numbers with non-repeating patterns. For example, if some numbers are 1.3, 1, 4, 5, 2, 3, it keeps going, but any pattern, no pattern is getting repeated. Here this 333 pattern is getting repeated, but here no pattern will get repeated. Such kind of numbers are coming under irrational numbers. For example, pi, the value of pi, the value of root, the value of root of 2, square root of 2, and the value of square root of 3. These all numbers are coming under this non-repeated decimal patterns, decimal numbers with non-repeated pattern. The value of pi is 3.1415 and it keeps going. No pattern will get repeated. And square root of 2 is, the value of square root of 2 is 1.41421. It keeps going. No pattern will get repeated. So such kind of numbers are coming under irrational numbers. We cannot write these numbers in the form of fraction. Okay, we cannot write irrational numbers in the form of fractions. Fractions means like p by q. In this form, we cannot write irrational numbers in the form of p by q. So in this portion, we'll be solving some problems like whether this particular number is irrational or not. We need to prove that this particular number is irrational or not. Yeah, this kind of problems we are going to solve in upcoming classes. Before that, we have to know the basic all these concepts, and also we have to know the one important theorem and one important technique. We can learn that. Now the problem. It seems like complicated, but the technique is very simple. You have to know these lines. If p is a prime number and p divides a square, then p divides a square, then p also divides a, where a is a positive integer. Let me explain with the example. For example, I am taking a equal 12. Okay, this is a is a positive integer, right? We can take any number. I am taking 12. Okay, you can represent this 12 as with any letter. I am taking a here. Okay, don't confuse. You can take any number. Just I am taking a. This a, right? This a equal 12, right? And p is a prime number. P divides a square, then p also divides a, where a is a positive integer. Here I am taking a is 12. Okay, prime number. I am going to find out the factor using prime factorization method. If I am taking 2, 6 2s are 12, 2, 3 2s are 6, 3. So here I have the factors 1 into 2 into 3, right? Here this 2 is a prime number, 3 is a prime number. Just I am considering only 3. You can take any prime number. Okay, here this p represents any prime factor of one of the prime factors of this particular a. Okay, this p represents one of the prime factors of this a. Okay, we have the prime factors of 12 is 2 into 2 into 3. I am taking just 3. You can take any. Any means you can take either 2 or 3. Just I am taking 3. Okay. Here the prime number p is p. So, sorry, 3, right? P is 3. Why? Because from these only I am taking. This is for example for this definition. You have to know, that's why. And okay, now we have p and a, right? And a square, what is a square here? A square is 12 square, right? 12 square. The value of 12 square is 144. A square value is 144. P divides a square. P divides, this 3 divides a square, 144. We can divide this 144 by 3 completely, right? We can use this L method. 1443. 4 3s are 12, remaining 2, 2 and 4, 24. 8 3s are 24, right? So I can divide this 144 by 3 easily. 48 I am getting. That's why P divides a square. This 3 can divide 144, right? And P also divides a. What is P here? Again 3. 3 also divides 12 completely, right? You can divide this 12 by 3 completely. 4 3s are 12, right? So here the thing is, let's assume any positive integer a and prime factor 3. Any number p. Here this p divides a square also. A square, and also this p divides this a. This is all about this definition. Okay. We are this here p is nothing but any one of the prime factors of this a. A, right? A is any positive integer. So that this p divides a square and also p divides a. This is all about this theorem. Now one more technique is there. Now we are going to learn about that technique. Now this is the technique, proof by contradiction. This is the technique we are going to use for upcoming classes for solving some irrational problems, irrational number problems. Here proof by contradiction means, for example, let's imagine you're saying that there is no milk in the fridge, but your friend says that there is a milk in the fridge. You're going to open the fridge and see that there is no milk in the fridge. Here your friend's statement is wrong, right? Your friend said that there is a milk, but actual thing is there is no milk. So here your friend's statement is wrong. By proving your friend's statement is wrong, you have shown that your statement is correct. Your statement is true, right? This concept is called as proof by contradiction. Contradiction means something wrong. Proving, it's like proving something is wrong. Okay? If you understand this example, you'll be able to understand this concept. For example, this question is, you have to prove square root of 3 is irrational. What you are going to do is, you are going to assume that square root of 3 is rational. Sorry, not irrational, rational. The question is, you have to prove that square root of 3 is irrational, but what you are going to do is, for the solution, you are going to assume square root of 3 is rational, right? This is wrong statement. This is correct statement. You are going to prove this statement is wrong. So automatically we can conclude that this statement is correct, right? So this is all about proof by contradiction. This technique only we are going to use in this kind of problems. Next video we can start solving the problem like prove particular square root of 3 is irrational and prove square root of 5 is irrational. For every problems you will be using this theorem, one important theorem we had learned previously, that theorem, and also proof by contradiction techniques. These are all the things you have to use, then only you will be solve this problem. This much I had in this video. I hope this video helpful. If you found this video helpful, share it with your friends, hit like button and subscribe to the channel Blackboard Techniques for more updates. We'll see you in another video. Until then, Shiny signing off.